This is World Comics Review, and these are Video 8 tapes. So I've had a big long odyssey of finding these Video 8 tapes in a skip about probably 3 years ago now, and constantly looking around hoping somebody would dump a Video 8 VCR or camera on the street for me to take for free so I could play these and rip them to digital. But yeah, that didn't happen. So about popping from the tea bottle. So yeah, about maybe a year ago, I decided to bite the bullet and just buy a Video 8 VCR and use that to rip the tapes to digital. And then about 8 months later, I actually started ripping the tapes, and I did about 1.5 tapes, and then it broke. Magical. So yeah, I'm still in the long Video 8 odyssey, and eventually I'll get there and do a big long video about it and show you some of the stuff that's on these tapes, which seem to alternate between porn and anime. So I've ripped yeah, one tape which has about 3 or 4 porn VHSs on, and then one tape which has loads of episodes of some anime on. I guess back in the day somebody had a dual VHS and Video 8 machine, and they rented videos, probably quite expensively, and just ripped 3 or 4 videos at a time onto Video 8 tapes and then returned them to the rental shop. So anyway, I went to the I've got a mini DV as well. I've no idea where that came from. So it goes in this box too. So anyway, I went to my favourite, read closest, antique and second-hand junk market the other day, and I got another 5 Video 8 tapes for ripping to digital when I eventually get a working machine that's reliable. So these ones appear to be somebody's home movies, possibly. The place I bought them from, I think they're like, they do house clearances or something. They always have kind of odd trinkets, old jewellery, empty picture frames, CDs, tapes, weird appliances like old broken mobile phones and the mobile phone recharging batteries and stuff like that. And they always sell them off for 100 yen each, just spread out on a tarpaulin, but they always have new stuff, so yeah, I reckon they do house clearances and stuff. And the other day they had these 5 tapes. So they actually had a Video 8 camera too, but it looked like it had well, it only output in mono, and it looked like it had a kind of bespoke power connector that I'd have to hunt down, and also it had a big battery pack, but that was almost certainly dead. And the battery pack probably also has some kind of bespoke charger that only fits that one as well, so I didn't buy the camera. But I did have a half-finished tape still inside it, so if it's still there next time I might buy it just for the tape that's inside. So yeah, as I said, these appear to be somebody's home videos. So when I eventually get it all ripped to digital and do a big video talking about them, I don't know if I can show anything from these, unless it's kind of non-identifiable street scenes or pictures they've filmed that are just what Osaka looked like back around 1994. So we've got something, obviously I can't read most of this still, but we've got some like Shiroyama Super, so filming a supermarket maybe. Marching band, a marching band filmed on 1st of October 1994, or is that 10th of January 1994, I'm not sure. This one, can't read any of this. This may mean post office or debt. What the hell does this say? That's from May 1994, I guess. This is, don't know, something else. Heisei 16, Heisei Juroku. I think it's a bit later, maybe 1998, I'm not sure exactly. And I think this one said Eki, train station. Is that might be train station, I don't know. Too scribbly. And this one, something. What are these say? Something bus. So possibly from a public transport nerd filming trains and buses and something else. Because Eki is train station, I should probably mention. So yeah, when I eventually get all this Video 8 collection ripped onto digital, maybe I can show you some interesting footage from around 90s Osaka, if it's not identifiable and invading privacy. Anyway, this is mostly a comics channel, so of course when I went to that sale I bought some comics. So I got two. This is Tiger Man issue number 2 from Atlas Comics. For some reason I thought Marvel was briefly named Atlas Comics between being called Timely and Marvel, but apparently not. So yeah, this is Tiger Man, a kind of generic Spider-Man-ish street-level superhero, number 2 from 1975. Oh, Steve Ditko actually. I didn't notice that before. Jerry Conway, Steve Ditko. Okay, it's got some pedigree I didn't know it had. There's some by Seaboard Periodicals, and then there's a page of adverts. It's the inevitable Charles Atlas one. All of these are from Seaboard something something company, like Seaboard Model Company, Seaboard Monster Company, Seaboard Publishing. Lots of internal advertising for stuff they make. The inevitable other adverts you get in American things at this time, so more jokes and tricks and stuff, and grit. It's like a newspaper kids could sell door to door and get these fabulous prizes. There was a lot of offers even like this in British comics from the beginning of the 20th century. I think those have mostly kind of died out by the 70s. More stuff. Stratomatic baseball game. I guess it's some kind of like extremely in-depth board game that simulates baseball. Kung Fu, because martial arts were big at the time. Oh, and of course comics too. Yeah, there's comic strips in this comic. Imagine that, eh? More blah blah blah. And here's some of the other Atlas Comics titles. So we've got Wolf the Barbarian, not Conan. Police Action, about non-superpowered cops, kind of a rarity even at the time. Grim Ghost, I guess not. I guess it's kind of mythological, so maybe Thor's the closest big 2 character, although not really. Or was Ghost Rider around in the 70s? I don't know. And the Brute, I guess not the Hulk. So that's Tiger Man from an also ran 70s superhero company, and of course approved by the Comics Code. Not quite bagged and boarded, but I'll sort that out later. And the other one is perhaps a bit more famous. It's Star Trek. This is by Gold Key, who did a lot of TV and film-based comics back in the 60s and 70s. Of course, these days IDW do all that stuff. So this is from 1978. So and it says copyright Paramount Pictures. So I don't know. I'm not as into Star Trek, but I think this is roughly around the time that the first film came out. So yeah, Star Trek had obviously died out in the 60s, but the kind of really crazy fandom, probably the first like really big and organised nerdy fandom, had kept Star Trek alive in people's hearts. So they Gold Key started doing Star Trek comics, and obviously then the film came out. Although this is still, actually I didn't even look. Let's look at the Enterprise. Oops. This is still the original series uniforms, obviously, and it's the original series Enterprise with the rounded bits on the front, but they're not kind of coloured. So the movie Enterprise was more, didn't have as many glowy bits, but more 70s and 60s science fiction. And also Marvel saw in the an advert for these Hostess Twinkies. This is better drawn and coloured than the actual comic itself. So this is they go to a planet which is the not Soviet Union. A big red planet was dominating its smaller inhabited moons. But then the Emperor of the planet decided to be peaceful, professed peace, but said they discovered, oh no, it's actually a trick, and they're pretending to build innocent farm machinery, but actually they're building war machines. I guess the Soviet Union was trying to get people to go to the 1980 Olympics, so professing that they were peaceful, but then went on to invade Afghanistan later on. And advert on the back for sea monkeys. It's a perennial scientific pet toy thingy that pretty much everyone had as a kid. Even me and my friends had it in the 90s, and in the late 90s they still used these adverts, which are straight out of the 1950s, but with a few disclaimers like the actual creatures sea monkeys are don't look anything like this. Although they don't claim to, they say instant pets, just add water and they hatch, but by the late 90s they were saying you add water and then wait a day and then put in another chemical and it creates instant life. Actually, they hatch as soon as you put the water in, but they're too small to see, and then when you put in the supposed instant life chemical, it's actually just a blue dye that dyes them so you can see them more easily. So yeah, that's the two 70s American comics and some 90s home videos, which one day I'll be able to watch. And that's the Shitennoji Sale for this month. Next month should just be the Shitennoji Sale again, although the corona numbers are fluctuating again and going up, so maybe it'll be cancelled. And in October, maybe, super maybe, the big Shitennoji book sale's coming back. So in 2020 it was cancelled in April, on in October, and then over winter the corona numbers went up, so the 2020 one was cancelled in April and is apparently going to be on in October. But even though it's summer now, the corona numbers are still going up, especially in Tokyo, so perhaps they'll, I've got it back in the bag, perhaps they'll cancel the October Shitennoji book sale again. I'll just have to wait and see, I suppose.